Good morning, everybody. Monday 5 Live, back again. Today's topic is called Crucify Your Cravings. Choose this, not that. And the heading sounds a little bit dramatic, but this is something that has been requested of me to talk about. So last week I went to a business networking event, and one of the ladies in there, she watches my Monday 5 Lives, and she said, can you please do a talk on when, you know, those times when you go and stand in front of the fridge or the pantry and you're hungry and you just end up reaching for something that isn't that good for you because you just don't know what else you should be eating. And I know that there's a lot of people in this boat. A lot of it is to do with being busy and relying on convenience foods and all that sort of thing. And what I want to talk about this morning is that it doesn't have to be difficult. Like, you can choose really healthy choices, but it's a matter of knowing what those healthy choices are and being prepared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some examples if we go through a typical day, and I'm going to give you some options of what you could replace maybe some of the unhealthy options that you're eating with. So let's start with the morning coffee. We're never going to tell anyone to stop drinking coffee because we understand how enjoyable coffee drinking is. What we do say to people is try and limit it to one per day. Of course, giving up coffee is ideal, but if you're not prepared to do that, limit yourself to one per day, preferably before 9 a.m. And the reason for this is because coffee stimulates your cortisol hormone, which is your stress and alert hormone. And if you start drinking coffee too late in the day, it can disrupt your sleep. So by all means, have your morning coffee, have it before 9. But then when it comes to morning tea time and you're tempted to have another one, resist the coffee and go for another option. So something I've started doing in the last couple of years is instead of coffee, I now buy a chai latte or I make my own at home. So if I'm out at a cafe, I'll buy a chai latte. I'll have a plant-based milk with it. So like an oat milk or a rice milk or an almond milk or a soy milk, depending on what's available. And obviously chai lattes, they don't have any caffeine in them. The other option is a turmeric latte. They're quite popular at the moment, or simply just a herbal tea. Even a normal English breakfast tea is fine. It's still got caffeine in it, but not nearly to the same extent as what coffee does. So choose something as an alternative to your second coffee. We really don't want you drinking coffees throughout the day because that's just going to cause some massive problems for your health. Now, when we have our morning coffee, or in this case, chai latte or herbal tea, often it's quite tempting to have something with that drink. So something like a muffin or a scone or a cinnamon scroll or whatever it is that you're tempted by in the cabinet wherever you are at a cafe. But even if you're at home and you're working from home and it's 10 o'clock and you want your hot drink and something to eat, it's really easy to reach for things like a biscuit or a muesli bar. Hey Beth, thanks for watching. But there are plenty of other options that you can choose from that are not going to lead to more and more cravings, because the more fat and salt and sugar that you eat, the more that your body wants. And something that a lot of people are unaware of is that it takes only a matter of a few days to really get rid of your cravings or to crucify your cravings. And one of the first things that our clients usually say to us in our first weekly coaching session after they've been on the plan for a week is they say, my cravings have completely disappeared. And I explain to them it's because when you start giving your body everything it needs, it doesn't need all that extra stuff. It doesn't need the fat and the salt and the sugar. So that's usually the first thing that our clients notice, and it only takes a matter of days. So ideally you want to start training your body to not need those foods, the biscuits and the muffins and the scrolls and the date scones or whatever you would usually have. If you go onto my video section on this plant-based nutrition coaching page and scroll down, you will see heaps and heaps of recipe videos that I've filmed for healthier options when it comes to sweet treats. So we've got all sorts of slices and muffins and little chocolate balls and things. Yes, they're still sweet and they've still got fat and sugar and things in them, but they are healthier options than some of the stuff that you'd buy in a shop. So use those as an option on the video section. Another good option is these. They are little snack balls. Actually, I'll show you one. They're really little, but they're so yummy, and they are sweet, but they're not overbearing. So they've got no gluten or you know, too much fat, or there's a bit of sugar in them, but they are healthier than your typical, you know, slice or chocolate muffin. Have a couple of those. There's another brand called Fruze Balls as well, which are really good. Even better than those is to go for healthier options. So, for example, morning tea time, and you want to have your biscuit or your muesli bar or your muffin, grab a handful of nuts and dried fruit. Okay, so cashew nuts are good, almonds are good. Don't go overboard on the nuts because they are still high in fat. Have those with some dried apricots or some raisins or some dates. That is a perfect snack, and it will give your body plenty of nutrition, and it will keep you going until lunchtime. I can't underestimate the importance of a fresh piece of fruit. Honestly, when you start eating this way, you won't want all that other stuff, because as I said, the cravings start to disappear when you give your body everything it needs. Another option is veggie sticks and hummus. This is so tasty and so refreshing, and it will really help your energy levels and also your mental function. So cut up some carrot sticks, celery sticks, take some hummus. If you're at work, this is going to involve a little bit more preparation, but it's so quick. Honestly, just put them in a little container, take a little pot of hummus, and you're all set. Okay, so there's some morning tea options. We get to lunchtime and you're hungry and you're having a hard day at work, and the natural response is to reach for something filling and starchy and satisfying. For example, maybe a big sandwich with you know, some crappy bread, like maybe white bread, or even some of the whole grain breads these days are full of rubbish. It might have ham on it or cheese on it, or, you know, all that sort of stuff. What that's going to do is it's just going to put you into a slump. It's not nutritious food. So as another option, grab a gluten-free wrap, load it up with salad greens, carrot, cucumber, capsicum, stick some falafels in there, put some like vegan aioli. This is a better option than your standard mayonnaise. Standard mayonnaise is just, terrible. This is still, of course, this has still got fat in it, but it's a much better option. It hasn't got all the dairy and the eggs and all that crap in it. So make that at home if you need to. Take it to work, or if you're out at a cafe, look for something like that. Try gluten-free and dairy-free, because generally those options are going to be far more nutritious, and they are going to support your body. They're going to support your nutritional needs and your energy levels and your mental focus. Another really good thing to do at lunchtime is just have a really nice green salad. You can put all sorts of goodies in there, like, you know, put your herbs in, your mint and all that sort of stuff. Put some orange slices in, you know, all your general salad ingredients, tomatoes, capsicum, cucumber, carrot. And if you're still hungry, have a piece of fruit afterwards, or even, you know, have one of these if you're feeling like something sweet. Easy peasy. Salads are really great at lunchtime, especially as we're coming into the warmer weather. They're so much easier to eat in the summer, and you'd actually be surprised at how filling a salad can be, again, because you're giving your body everything it needs and it's not needing all that extra stuff. So when you have a heavy lunch that is pretty low in nutritional value, you're going to end up with that afternoon slump. So 3 o'clock comes around, maybe you're dying for another cup of coffee and something sweet. Again, try not to go for the coffee in the afternoon. It's going to wreck your sleep. Go for your herbal tea or your chai latte or whatever it is. Just be aware with things like chai latte, if you're using a plant-based milk, it's still quite high in fat. So, you know, I'd say just stick with one a day. Cup of tea in the afternoon is probably a better option. Again, it's tempting to reach for the biscuits and the muffins and things like that, or the chocolate bar. That's a really common one. Again, go for your handful of nuts and dried fruit. Fresh fruit, always a good option. Here's a really nice one. This is a really popular one with our clients. Put some fresh berries in a bowl. So at this time of year, we've got loads of options. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, whatever. Put them all in a bowl. And you don't even have to have a small quantity, like have a bigger quantity. And pour some coconut cream over them. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And that will be so satisfying, so nutritious. You don't want to drown them in coconut milk because obviously that's high fat as well. But you'll be surprised at how filling that is. Hey Liz, hey Jenny, thanks for watching. Another option is rice crackers and hummus. So rice crackers, just be careful with rice crackers because they can be full of artificial flavors and nasty ingredients like MSG, which is usually number 621 on the back of the packets. Also look out for the words natural flavoring. It's not really what it means. Natural flavoring means there's some really bad stuff in there. So this is the food industry behaving very, very badly with how they label things. So something like this is good. It hasn't got any extra flavoring. They're just plain crackers. Dip them into some hummus. That is a really great snack. Another option is corn thins. Now these are made of pretty much just corn, a little bit of brown rice, some buckwheat, so gluten-free grains. You want to stay away from gluten if you can. And they are just thin little crackers. Put some peanut butter and slice up a banana on them. They are so, so good. So there's some of your afternoon tea options. Oh, another one. If you're someone who reaches for potato chips, go for something a little less, well, all potato chips to some degree have salt and fat and all that kind of stuff in them, but something like this, I've actually opened the wrong end of the bag, so I'll turn it up. Something like that is a really good option. So just a multi-grain, again, no artificial flavors or colors, plain corn chips, that you can dip in the hummus and that sort of thing. Better than your standard eater ripples with like all that chicken flavoring and salt and vinegar. That's just all really nasty stuff. So that gives you another option. Another one is popcorn actually. We usually get popcorn for the kids. We usually get the plain one actually. Every now and then I'll get the sweet and salty one. This is probably a good option if you just want something a little bit sweet, but you don't want to go for the biscuits and all that. This will give you that little bit of sweetness. I mean, popcorn isn't overly nutritious, but it's better to reach for this than a bag of salt and vinegar eater ripples, okay? Okay, so let's go to dinner time. Dinner time, it's really tempting to, you know, just tuck into some comfort food. That's very normal, and the thing we've got to be aware of with dinner is that, you know, people end up cooking with so much, so many things that really are problematic in the body. And I'm talking about eggs, gluten and dairy mostly, and lots of other things as well. But in terms of giving you some other options for dinner, think about if you want to make something like a lasagna or something like, you know, a big cottage pie or something, try going to the plant-based options. There's plenty of recipes out there now. Obviously, this is what we do. You know, we help our clients with providing plant-based meals and things like that. It's going to be so much better for you. It's going to help you sleep better because you're not going to be, your digestive system's not going to be clogged up with all this extra fat and, you know, yucky stuff that the liver has to try and break down, and that can lead to some pretty rubbish sleep. So try more plant-based options. If you're someone who really enjoys eating meat, that's fine, but just be mindful about how much you're eating. And our recommendation is no more than a palm-sized piece per day. So that's your palm, the thickness of your palm, and that should be the maximum amount of meat that you eat each day. And preferably try not to eat it every day, because meat is really, really hard for the digestive system to break down. And meat automatically, also high protein, which is obviously your meat, automatically equals high fat. So even the lean cuts of meat have got lots of saturated fat, which means an extra burden for your liver and so many other problems, which I'm not going to go into today. Another option is if you're, you know, for dinner, you might cook up some hot chips or something. Do something like kumara fries or potato fries instead. Homemade ones. You just chop them up into long, skinny things like, you know, your standard fries that you buy at the supermarket, and roast those up. That's a much better option than store-bought fries from a bag. So, you know, starchy carbs, kumara, potato, pumpkin, brown rice, all that sort of thing is just really good options for dinner. I mean, obviously we've got so many more things that we could talk about, but I could talk about this all day, so I've got to just keep it to the bare minimum. Okay, another problem time during the day for people is after dinner, and I know for me this is probably my biggest weakness. So after dinner I always like to have a hot drink about an hour later, or maybe a little bit more, and this is the time where I tend to want to reach for something sweet, and it's really tempting again to have a biscuit with your cup of tea, or a chocolate bar. Again, you know, those foods are just going to create problems if you have them over and over again, loaded with nasty ingredients. So our recommendation is to reach for some dark chocolate instead. Actually, I forgot to bring that with me. If you look in the supermarket for the Lindt variety, that's Lindt, you can get dark chocolate with an 85 or 90% cocoa content. So when you look at your chocolate, you don't want any dairy products in there. Dairy products are really inflammatory in the body, cause a lot of problems. Go for your dark chocolate that doesn't have any dairy in it. And the Lindt variety is awesome. So if you're someone who reaches for something sweet after dinner, go for the dark chocolate. Honestly, once you try it, you'll notice that you don't want to keep going back for more and more. And this is where dark chocolate is very different to milk chocolate, because milk chocolate is so sweet, it just fuels that addiction and you just want to keep going back and back. With the dark chocolate, it's got sweetness in it, but it's also got some bitterness, which means that you don't want to have to, you don't feel like you have to keep going back and back for more. So yeah, that's probably about it for today. Hope I gave you some good other options there. Obviously, if you're needing some additional help with your food and, you know, your nutrition and things like that, please reach out to us. This is what we do every day. And I just want to reiterate something I said at the beginning, which is, you know, when you train your body to overcome its cravings, you won't look back. Seriously. It's so easy to do. All you need to do is start feeding your body the food that it absolutely needs and wants. It doesn't want the chocolate and the muffins and the biscuits. All that's going to do is weigh it down, make you feel sluggish and grumpy and irritable and tired. What it wants is nutrient-dense food that is going to fuel you. It's going to fuel your body. It's going to give you energy. It's going to give you mental clarity and focus. And once you start eating that way, within about 3 or 4 days, honestly, those other cravings are just going to disappear. And it's honestly the first thing that our clients say to us is that my cravings have gone. So I hope that was helpful to you guys. Please let me know if you've got any comments or questions. Hey Penny, thanks to all of you ladies for tuning in this morning. I hope you got some value from that. And yeah, hope you all have a great day. It's a beautiful day here, so I'm going to go out and enjoy some sun. Okay, see you same place, same time next week. Bye.